It's going to be roasted up and then watching people.
That's perfect. Is that good? Get my spoon and the big fork now.
There you go.
While he's like this, you want to go to the level.
Golden amber.
That's all amber. Yeah, that's Baltic amber, this, and the little one, that's Doggerland, so it's British amber.
Where did that come from?
Anywhere on the East Coast, north of Kent, all the way up. Don't look on the beach, look at the back of the beach, because amber is so light and it floats. He's always thrown right to the back. So that's where, yeah, under the cliffs, that's where you need to look for it. And in the shrubbery, that's where it's going to be. Because it's so light, it always gets blown right up the beach. There's one of the materials I'm working at the moment. Is this, catch. That's Kimmerid shale. It's close to 50% organic material, and it will burn.
Really?
So the very, very fine dust you get from that, you save that up for storytelling. You need a devil's fart in the lighthouse to handle that on the fire.
Be able to do everything else. It's just so you're there, but you'll probably want to be there anyway. So. Yeah. So that's all fine then.
Just looking at, just kind of demoing how we queue up all of our wood. So all of the timber that we're using, grown, felled, split, converted ourselves. So we kind of do the whole process, and we're looking at how, using the traditional tools, they may have gone about building their buildings. So I've worked with open-air museums all across Europe, building reconstructions of round houses or waiting long houses.
Thanks very much for your advice.
Hi, good morning guys, thanks for joining me. Hope everyone's well, hope everyone's enjoying this nice dry day, and it's a little bit of a rarity for this past few weeks. It's absolutely chucking down, one of the main reasons why I've not been able to get out and get a video done. So I thought whilst I am out today, we will talk about a few of the items which I brought back from the Bushcraft show. Absolutely awesome event, great to meet up with a few of the subscribers and other guys that have got their own channels. So for today's video, we're going to run through the smaller items. These are things which I could manage to get into the rucksack. I did purchase a couple of bigger items which I'll probably show in the next video. But these items are things which I've used up over the past 12 months, so some are replacements, some are items which I saw and thought, yes, I'd like to give them a try. So I will leave all the links in the description box. We will run through all the individual items and we'll have a quick close look at them, and hopefully it might be a bit of interest to you. So the first couple of items which I'll take a look at, I purchased from a company called Journeyman Handcrafts. One of those being this nice little Sammy style pouch, and also a block there of canvas and leatherproofer. Now these little Sammy pouches you can pick up on Etsy. I did see them on Etsy, and funny enough, one of the subscribers actually mentioned about buying one of these when I did the last canvas video. So this little pouch here, like I say, in a Sammy style pouch made out of canvas. You can pretty much use them for what you want. Originally used for putting coffee, dry foods in and that kind of thing. And this one's made out of canvas. It's a 8-ounce canvas, so nice durable canvas. And just the items which I'm keeping in here at the moment, just the items from the fire kit. But like I say, you can use these for pretty much anything that you want to. Like I say, dry foods, coffee, that kind of thing. But I tend to use these kind of things, like I say, for flint and steel sets, you know, fire kits and that kind of thing. So you've got one main little pouch there. Just give you a look just in the inside. Quite a deep pouch, and the dimensions of it are 7 inches tall, 4 inches wide, and then when it's filled out it stuffs out to around about 5 inches, so again a nice good size. One thing which drew me to it is a little pocket just on the front here, just in there. I'm just carrying just a little bit of tinder, just got a pine knot and a little piece of fat wood. So these can be easily re-waterproofed just by using something like, you know, the wax which they make. But you know, you can pretty much use any kind of dressing on these. I might try that Martexing. It's similar kind of thing which you use on the Frost River products. So they come with a nice leather thong, a couple of wooden beads on there with a nice little logo just on the leather tab. And you can get them in 4 different colours. You can get them in beige, you can get them in chestnut, you can get them in coffee, you can also get them in forest green. And if you do go on Etsy and just check on his website, he does actually make a nice leather version of them as well. So for these canvas versions, they're $14.95, very well made. All the stitching there is reinforced. You've got this nice bit of cotton webbing just on the inside. And like I say, in these little pouches you can use pretty much whatever you want to use them for. Nice traditional looking pouches, which are very, very handy. Okay, so the next thing which we'll run through, obviously a little bit of cutting, and I've upgraded, or upsized should I say, from the Pocket Boy now to the Gomboy. So the Gomboy itself, very similar kind of blade, all made out of the same kind of materials as what the Pocket Boy is, but personally I was looking for something just a little bit longer, just for cutting larger pieces of wood. So the Gomboy itself, this one here is the 240, so 240mm size blade there. Again, just showing you, just compared to the Pocket Boy, that there's quite a bit of difference there just in the size of the blade. But the sword itself is a nice size that it can be packed away in the rucksack. It's not like carrying a large bow sword around with you, that kind of thing. It just means that you're going to be able to cut down decent pieces of wood for fires, shelter building, carving, you know, anything like that. So one thing which I do like about the Silky saws, they are a little bit more expensive compared to most other saws, but I do like that single pull action. I sustained an injury, you know, a few years ago just on my chest, and it means if there was any kind of pushing involved in the cutting, then it always seemed to hurt, where these, it's more on the pull stroke, so you're doing everything, you know, more with your shoulders and your back compared to your chest. So one thing which I do like about them is how clean the wood is cut. So it doesn't make any difference if you're going to be using it for firewood, but like I say, if you're going to use that in the garden or perhaps a little bit of carving, it always does leave that nice clean finish there. So like I was saying, this one here is the 240. You can get them from 210mm all the way up to 300mm. But like I was saying, this one here is perfect just to keep in the rucksack. And when it's folded up, it's 10 inches long, and it comes with this nice heavy duty plastic case. And with that you can wear it on a belt if you wanted to wear it on a belt. It's also got drainage holes in the bottom there. So for the money, absolutely awesome piece of kit, very well made, very well thought out, and also very comfortable to use. The handles have got this nice grippy rubber on it, so if everything's wet, if it is that you're wearing gloves or not, there's always a good deal of traction there on the handle. And like I say, this is a very comfortable handle for using, you know, for long periods of time. So the cost of the Gomboy is £40. You probably can get them cheaper on eBay, that kind of thing, but whilst I was down at the show, this was the kind of thing I was looking for, so I thought, in my opinion, 40 quid wasn't too bad. Okay, so the next item we're going to take a look at is this tool roll by Ben & Lewis Orford. Now, Ben & Lewis are known more for the knives and leather work and that kind of thing, but they also do bring in some real awesome canvas gear. So I'm not 100% sure if Lewis has actually made this or if it's something that they do buy in, but one thing that I do know, it is made over in the UK, and it's always nice to support these local companies. So the tool roll itself is made from 16-ounce canvas, so twice as thick as what that little pouch was, and when you open it up, just inside here we've got 6 compartments. Now this one here is known as the deluxe version. They make one where the pockets are just flat, but this one here, it comes with 4 expandable pockets and then the 2 flat pockets just at the sides. So like I say, I've got the carving tools in here. I will run through one of the tools which I brought off Ben, but just for the time being, just taking a look here at the tool roll. Just like the Frost River one, it's got a couple of eyelets at the top, so if it is you want to hang that in the workshop, you can either knock a couple of nails in the wall or wherever it may be, or if you're out in the woods you can just remove just this paracord lashing, the thing that you use to fasten the tool roll up with in the first place, and then you can just attach it through the eyelets and have that hanging up off a twig or whatever it may be. So these tool rolls you can get in various different colours. There was a brown, there was a green, and there's this orange colour. I went with the orange colour, so hopefully I'll never forget the tools. I don't want to walk away and leave them on a stump or something like that. Like I said, you can get these couple of different versions of them. I will leave all the links in the description box, but for something like this you can be paying around about £40–45. It is quite expensive, but it is something which is going to last a lifetime, as long as obviously, like I say, you don't leave it behind. So the dimensions of it, when it's all rolled up, it's 8.5 inches in diameter, but when it's flattened out like so, we're going to be talking 17.5 inches wide by 17.75 inches tall. So it's a nice handy little size. It is a lot smaller than the Frost River one. I'll just give you a close up there of the two side by side. So this one here being a nice size to keep in your rucksack, but again, if you've got a tall pocket in a rucksack, you know there's certainly no problem with the Frost River one. So like I say, this is here, it's got all the carving tools in, so plenty of room for carving knives, little saws, strop, like I say, any carving knives there, and the hook knives. So just whilst I've got this hook knife out, this is a new little version which I brought off Ben. Something we'll just have a quick look at now. And this one here is known as his flatter curve hybrid knife. So the flatter curve being the curve of the cutting edge itself, and if you just uncover it, and when you do buy them, they do come with these nice leather wraps just to protect your fingers obviously, and you know, your pouch and everything else that you're going to be keeping in them. So I'll just get the camera just to pick up just on the curve there. You can just see that it's quite a shallow curve compared to one of the standard hook knives that he makes, and the idea behind this is so the cuts that you make aren't quite as deep, so perfect for spoon carving and that kind of thing. So the hybrid part comes in with the handle. It does make them with a flat handle, but you can use it just in the conventional way, just holding it just in the hand like so, and using the hook knife like that. Or if you wanted to get deeper and apply a bit more power, it just means you've got the option of being able to hold the handle in that kind of fashion. So the handles themselves are carved from a piece of English elm, so it is a nice hard wearing wood. But like I say, in the shape of the handles are very, very comfortable. It doesn't really make any difference which style you use. I found there was very little hand fatigue with it. So the cutting edge itself is 01 tool steel. Very sharp when you buy them, very easy to maintain and resharpen or rehone. One bit of advice I will give you is just make sure that you store them with a little bit of oil on them. Last thing you want, certainly if you've been carving greenwood, is to find that they've rusted when you've been storing them away in your pouch or wherever it is that you're going to keep them. And if it is that you want to buy one with this shaped handle, Ben charges you £49. If it is that you want one with the flatter handle or just a straight shape, just like that one there, then the cost comes down to £42. So if it is that you're just starting off with greenwood carving, you're certainly not going to go far wrong. If it is that you look for Ben's tools, whether it's his carving knives, his hook knives, or his belt knives, his axes and all that kind of thing, just prepare to pay just a little bit of money. But I suppose having handmade tools made in England supporting these companies, it's always worthwhile spending that money and getting something nice and something enjoyable to use. And the next thing we're just going to take a look at was something else which I purchased off Ben, and that is a paddle strop. Now, I was in no desperate rush for one of these, but it's always nice when you're at the shows to be able to look at them and pick things up. So the paddle strops that Ben makes, absolutely awesome, no flex in them. Nice thick solid piece of ash there, all hand carved by Ben. And the leather that is used, there's 2 pieces of 3mm on this double-sided strop, so you've got the fluffy side for the majority of your honing, that's the side which you put the compound on, and then the other side there is a smoother leather, and I tend just to keep that as it is. And once you've run the knife over there after, it does give you an amazing edge. So the stropping section is 50mm wide by 250mm long, so a nice length there to strop your belt knives, axes or whatever it may be. Like I say, with it having no flex, it means you can apply just a bit more power to remove any bigger burrs, or perhaps you want to hone your tools out just a little bit quicker just by pushing down just a little bit more. And like I say, there's no flex in that board at all. So just keeping this in at the moment with the rest of the sharpening stuff and the compound which I like to use as Tormek, and this is something else which I brought with the strop, and Ben does a bit of a deal on it. If it says that you can't get Tormek, you can use something like Auto Sol. I do prefer these kind of compounds, they do really bring, you know, your knives and axes up to a razor sharp edge. So just these other items here, I was asked in a question, how do I sharpen, you know, me hoop knives and that kind of thing. I did go with one of Ben's sharpening systems. We can cover this in another video, or if it says you want to make yourself a little strop for your hook knives, and there's nothing stopping you there, just putting just a bit of leather just on a round piece of dowel or something like that. So like I'm saying, you know, you can buy these sharpening kits from Ben, you can make them yourself, but when I was down at the show I just saw the strop and the compound for the deal, and I thought, you know, go for it. It's always going to be there and always going to come in handy. And then the last item which I picked up at the show is one of these SAM splints. Now SAM splints don't need any kind of introduction. Been used by the military, the police, ambulance services and all that kind of thing for years. So when it comes to bushcraft or outdoors nowadays, there seems to be a lot of making do. You know, people carry duct tape instead of plasters, or if they get a burn you can find some herbs or perhaps a resin from a tree, that kind of thing. But you know, it's always worth carrying, you know, all this kind of stuff in the first aid kit. With the job which I do, I have to make sure that all my first aid qualifications are up to date, and I've got the appropriate kit in the first aid box. So with the SAM splint, you can get them in various different sizes. This is a 36 inch, so if I took it out the packet it would be obviously 36 inches long. And you can use these for wrists, legs, arms and all that kind of thing, for any kind of breaks, strains, you know, perhaps you just pulled a muscle and you're struggling to come out of the woods. It just means that you can support the injury and get yourself out and get yourself, you know, dealt with. So if it is that you don't want to use sticks and twigs to make splints, something like this will probably set you back around about £10. If it is that you've got a smaller injury, perhaps on a finger, hand, something like that, there's nothing stopping you cutting these larger ones down. And you can be reused, they can be cleaned. It's a double-sided foam basically, sandwiching a piece of aluminium, so you can bend them and form them to whatever shape it is that you need. So like I say, for 10 quid, it's certainly worth keeping in the first aid kit. Hopefully I'll never have to use it, unlike all the other items, but it's there just on the off chance that I do. So I'll be having, guys, just a quick look at a few of the items which I brought back from the show. If it is that you've never been down to the Bushcraft show, it's always worth a day out. It's really nice down there, real pleasant atmosphere, loads to see and do, and plenty to buy. So next time I'll probably just do a quick video on a couple of the other items. I brought a pair of full raven pants, I think they were called the Laplander, and I also brought a pair of Mindle boots, so we'll get out somewhere nice and have a bit of a hike about. I'm just going to take advantage of this bit of sun. They said it's going to rain now for the next few days. I'm going to find a little bit of wood. I've also got the carving kit out with me, do a little bit of carving. So like always, guys, you just leave and say thanks a lot for stopping by and watching the video. Like always, until next time, you take care and I'll see you again.